Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, passion for excellence.
This is Autoline Daily for Tuesday, May 4th, 2010, and now the news. We've got the full April sales numbers for the American market, and what a story they tell. But it's not the story the experts have been predicting. Forecasters like J.D. Power and True Car were calling for sales to top 1 million units. That did not happen. Bloomberg's forecast, based on an average from a handful of different analysts, predicted that Nissan would be up 57%. Nissan had a good month, but not nearly that good. They thought that Kia would drop by 22%, when in fact it was up 17%. Clearly, the month did not come out as good as the experts were expecting. April sales were up 20% versus a year ago, but a year ago the market was tanking, so that comparison really doesn't give us a whole lot of insight. A better comparison is comparing April sales to March, and that shows us sales fell 8%. Specifically, 84,000 fewer car buyers showed up to buy new cars in April. Every single major car company saw sales fall in April except for 3. VW, which was up 5.6%, Honda, which was up 5%, and Chrysler, which was up 3.4%. In fact, there's a real story to tell at Chrysler when you bore down into the numbers. The Ram brand fell 5%. The Jeep brand was off 16%, but the Chrysler brand was up 13%, and Dodge was up a very impressive 31%. The Avenger, Challenger, Charger, Caliber, and Caravan all saw spectacular increases. So the heroes at Chrysler last month were Olivier Francois, who runs the Chrysler brand, and Ralph Gilles, the CEO of Dodge, who proved a car designer really can run a business. The top-selling passenger cars last month showed that Honda was able to take advantage of Toyota's problems. The Accord was the best-selling car in America. But both the Corolla and Camry had strong months thanks to strong incentives. The Honda Civic and the Ford Fusion also made it into the top 5, but it's worth noting that the Hyundai Sonata just missed outselling the Fusion. When it comes to pickup trucks, no one can touch the Ford F-Series. It easily outsold the Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra combined. The Dodge Ram had a pretty weak month, but it still easily outsold the Toyota Tundra and Nissan Titan. One interesting note here, the Toyota Tacoma small truck actually outsold the bigger Tundra. In the crossover segment, the Ford Escape is running away with the market. It easily outsold the Honda CR-V, Chevy Equinox, and the Toyota RAV4. The sales numbers, reported by our friends at wardsauto.com, show that April sales in the American market failed to break through 1 million units, resulting in an annualized sales rate of only 11.1 million, which is kind of disappointing. So what happened? How come sales failed to meet what the experts were forecasting? I think maybe the real answer lies in March sales. All that bad weather in February caused some pent-up demand that boosted sales in March, but that push ran out of steam in April. And so while we are seeing the market recover, it is not coming back as fast as we expected. Coming up next, we'll take you for a ride in the BMW 1 Series. I'll be back in just a matter of seconds.
Introducing Bridgestone's third generation of run-flat tires with groundbreaking new Bridgestone technologies. Bridgestone run-flat tires offer improved ride comfort, lower rolling resistance, and improved wear while giving you the peace of mind and comfort you need.
Luxury car makers are scrambling to come out with small cars. It's not so much that they see customers clamoring for these kinds of cars. It has more to do with meeting CO2 regulations in Europe and the CAFE standard in the American market. So can the luxury brands be successful selling small cars? Here's my instant impression of one of them. Here's my driving impression of the BMW 1 Series, in this case, the 128i. And let me tell you, if you're an enthusiast, this is your kind of car, because it is definitely my kind of a car. Small, fast, agile. This thing really gets around. If you're an enthusiast, you're going to love this kind of a car, but I guess not a whole lot of enthusiasts think that way, because BMW doesn't sell very many of these things. Less than 1,000 a month. In fact, in some months they might sell more 7 Series than 1 Series. And part of the reason for that is it's not all that practical of a car. Yeah, there's a back seat, but forget about sitting back there. For all practical purposes, this is a two-seater. Under the hood, inline 3-liter 6. Man, this thing gets it. And it gets pretty good fuel economy, I think, for what the car is. I'm getting about 25 miles to the gallon. The other downside on it, and why it's probably not selling all that much, this car is about $32,000. That may be cheap for a BMW, but for what this car is, that's a little pricey. As for performance numbers, the 128i is powered by a 3-liter inline 6 that's good for 230 horsepower. With a curb weight right around 3,400 pounds, it has a power-to-weight ratio of roughly 15, which barely puts it in the performance car category on our scale. From a sales standpoint, the 1 Series has not exactly set the world on fire, at least not in the American market. BMW only sells a little over 1,000 a month. In fact, as often as not, the 7 Series usually ends up outselling the 1 Series. And that'll do it for today's show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.